Off camera. Hey everybody, what is up? It's your friends Cory Camp, TJ Hoffman, and Brian McGill back at you with another What's Up Wednesday, a post Better Together conference edition. We have the entire team that was kind of thinking behind the conference. We had a huge week for this particular conference, and we had a really fast and furious 6 weeks. TJ, thanks for coming on. You're kind of one of the colleagues that I had when I said, you know what, this virtual conference is this opportunity with ISTE kind of moving out of the schedule. What do you say we do this? You were like, you know what, let's do it. What made you think that you were that we were ready for this?
Well, you're never ready for something like this, and I think that there are a couple times. Yesterday, I'm thinking about my reflection cast with Anne McMillan, and she was talking about leadership, and she said, you know, one of the steps is to assess your readiness, and she said, there's really not a way to assess your readiness right now, and I think that you're seeing this in schools all over the country where the people who are really like moving forward and making progress. I think about Doug's school in San Diego State or in San Diego, and the work that he's doing there, and so many of our presenters were the people who were just kind of like, well, we're not ready for this. Nobody's ready for this. There's no this to be ready for. Let's just move forward. Let's make progress. Let's do what we can. And they've reached out to people. And I think that that's really been the spirit of the whole team. Has been people who were willing to take risks, people who were willing to sort of step into uncertainty, as one of my favorite authors, Jennifer Abrams, likes to say. And I think that that's an opportunity. That was an opportunity for us, and so we seized it. As a team, we really kind of put all hands on deck, and so many people at Sibme did so much over the last several weeks, over the last 2 months or so, to scramble to put this event together, and it's amazing that it happened.
It was absolutely, and it was. I think it kind of went exactly the way we hoped it would in the design. And Cory, you actually infused a lot of energy into the group. You just like, when we said virtual conference, you said yes, and you kind of lit a match inside the company. Talk to us a little bit about how that kind of energy kind of infused the company, and what we can kind of get into some of the things that we had planned to talk about in the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am always I think collaboration and the opportunity to connect with other people is just invigorating anyways. So that lights a little bit of a fire under me. And I so enjoy the opportunity, and I'm Brian, like you, I'm an extrovert. TJ's a little bit of an introvert. I'm an extrovert. I've missed people. I've missed talking about education. My husband has for years now been like, don't teacher talk to me. I really don't. I don't feel like I'm not from that world, right? He's former military, but it's been awesome to just think about all the possibilities, and I am ready. I've been ready to learn. I have been thinking about, and we here at Sibme have some ideas, and we get to connect with all of our partners and customers and help them as they step into that uncertainty. But then it was so amazing to have such a big response of our call to proposal for sessions for people who aren't a member of the Sibme family, maybe not yet, who said, I have some things to share. And my favorite part was many of those sessions were, here's what I've done in the past has been really successful in a face-to-face world. And here's how I'm thinking about continuing that in whatever world we're looking at, hybrid, fully virtual, socially distanced. Here's my ideas for how it would work. And there really was a lot of collaboration. So it's not like everything we've done in the past has to be completely thrown out. It's just, we got to think a little bit about the design of it and make sure that good teaching is still good teaching, whether it's online or offline. So I think that's
Cory,
so exciting.
Cory, we had a presenter yesterday that said something about planning for virtual school, and the general sentiment, I don't remember the exact quote, was, plan for an online school because you always have you can always flip back the other way. You always have the traditional school model as a touchstone that you can use, and so just thinking about ways to plan for alternative methods of reaching and teaching students and families, I think is something that's really good. And the thing that was really cool for us is that this was really about professional learning. This was about PD, coaching, professional learning, building collective efficacy, and that the things that people are thinking about. We had someone in one of our ed camps yesterday afternoon. They were thinking about ways to improve better together next year.
Yeah.
And they were giving great advice on ways. So they're thinking about, wow, we didn't really conceive of how a virtual conference would really happen, but we all came to it. And then they're already, because educators are always tinkering, thinking of ways to apply it to their own schools and districts and universities, to apply some pieces of it, and also to improve it for us, which is so cool. And, then if a year from now, Brian and I were talking about this yesterday, there's a way for us to come together both from a virtual environment and in an in-person environment. It doesn't mean that we have to throw virtual out the window,
right?
Just because we have the opportunity to get back together. For those of you who like to sit in a room together, I don't understand you people, but for those of you who do, you'll have that opportunity. But for those of us who feel a little bit more nervous about participating in a room, that's another option for us.
Yeah. And what I think is so fabulous about having that virtual component of a conference, and I've done conferences before where we have had a few sessions that would be available virtually, where people who couldn't make it to the area were able to join in via Zoom. And the great thing about that is then that session doesn't have to be, limited to just that bricks and mortar location and that time and space. It is available later on because we've been able to hit that record button. And that's something that several of our participants are saying, I can't, this is a 2-day conference, but I've got many more days to go through the rest of these sessions. We heard a lot of things around just, hey, who attended this session in our ed camps? Or if you didn't go to this one, check this one out. Our Twitter feed was awesome for the #BetterTogether Summit. So check that out. In fact, I'm going to pull up a little bit of that right now. To your point, TJ, talking about planning and really designing, every student deserves a great teacher, not by chance, but by design. This is what Doug Fisher started his keynote with yesterday. He said it's his favorite sentence he's ever written. It's possibly mine as well. And we heard a lot of people talking about not just planning, but redesigning for uncertainty and certainly a better education system coming out of this, because we are better together. This is forcing us to be innovative. This change, as scary and as uncomfortable as it is forcing us to improve systems and really think about how we can meet all students and raise equity back to the top of our focus. So lots and lots of really, really great sessions and conversations. If you have not followed our Twitter feed, #BetterTogether Summit, just go there. I just click on the latest. I was on here late last night, just scrolling through all of the tweets and everything that came from everyone. Oh, look, there we are live now. So we just scroll past us. Yeah, check that out. You're going to see some really great insights. People will tell you some of their favorite sessions and keep going there. Let everybody else know where they need to go as they have a chance to. Maybe today's not the day. Maybe you want to get away from the screen. If you joined us for the past 2 days, you got a little screen fatigue. Maybe after Independence Day, you can come back in because everything is available on demand. So you've got the rest of the year to consume this content. What is most important for you right now may change as you get into August and September and October, and there are sessions for that. That was one of the great things, is we have sessions that were going to address family engagement and equity and cultural responsiveness and design and coaching. And so when you're ready, it's there for you. You just have to check it out. And so you can, if you missed signing up for this conference, you did not completely miss the boat because everything is available on demand. You can just go to our conference website, info.sibme.com/bettertogether, and you can register now. Now, TJ, this won't be an instantaneous registration, right? It's going to take a moment to get them into the on-demand.
Yes. So because this takes place in a Sibme account, we have to do some stuff to make it happen. But we should have a system set up pretty quick so that you'll be able to get in. If you signed up today, if you're watching us live on July 1st, and you log in and go fill out this form right now, you'll get an email saying great things for registering, but you won't be able to log in right away. But you'll get an email from me, actually, in the next couple of days with information on how to access the account. If you already registered, you have access. You can just log in. So to the 3,000 people who've already registered, you're already in the account. You can just log in using the email that I sent you, one of the 25 emails I've sent you over the last 7 days.
Yeah, make sure TJ Hoffman at Sibme is not in your spam folder, because he's a real person and he's not spam.
Yep, here I am. I'm not a robot.
So just to give everyone a view, in case you haven't had a chance to log in, whether you pre-registered or you are joining us after the fact, when this all happened in the Sibme platform, which means that we've got collaborative spaces already set up. Each session has its own huddle, which is like the virtual room where that's that on-demand session, and all of the contents related to that session are housed. So again, get logged into the Sibme app if you've already registered, or once TJ gets you that registration, you'll head on into the day. So you'll need to have that conference schedule here so you can figure out which sessions you wanted to go back and watch and check out. But then you just pop on into the day that happened, the time that session happened, and you will find, here's our session, TJ, that you and I did. You'll find the on-demand session here to be able to watch. You can make comments as you watch this video. So if you've got anything that you want to add to this, you're going to be able to do so. You're going to be able to see what other people are saying. And again, you're going to be able to access all of the resources and artifacts that were shared in addition to the video from the live session. So not only that, but you can make comments on the video and you can continue discussion. So I was in here last night going back to a few of the sessions that I helped present in and responding to some questions and adding some additional resources as we were talking about other needs. So keep going. This is definitely not a one-time space or a stagnant on-demand experience. This is something that is collaborative and everyone can continue connecting together over. So we're excited. That's a part of our discussion next week here at Sibme, is how we can continue leaving this as a very active space and getting everyone connected together. So
a big part of that is you, not us. The big part of that is you going back in and continuing to engage with the content, participate in conversations, add your own content. You all have the ability to go into these huddles and add resources that you think would be helpful to the conversation. So there's a lot of opportunity for us to use this as a space for us to make good on the theme of the conference, which is that we are better together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a real opportunity for all of us.
Yeah. And this is also where you find certificates. We've had a few questions this morning asking about certificates. Those are all in those specific huddles. So this is where you can come and download certificates after you've participated in the live or the on-demand experience. So, and here's what's amazing about that better together idea, TJ, is we were global. This was not just something that happened in the US. A lot of our live attendees,
worldwide.
We sponsored this here in the US, Central Standard Time. So a lot of our folks attended, as that time met for them, but we were completely global. This is just from day one. We had even more spots all over this map on day two. There was only one continent where we didn't have anyone attending, right, TJ?
Yeah, no penguins in Antarctica were interested in professional development.
No educator penguins. Yeah. We had someone in the middle of the ocean, a couple people joining us, or a tiny island under that giant dot. So it was really cool to hear. And we had international presenters as well. Our folks at Impulso Decente in Chile were with us, and we had people on the other side of the pond, and so it was great to hear. And I kept hearing over and over again from many conference attendees that, I feel validated that we're not the only one in this mess asking these questions, tackling these problems. It's everywhere. And that's comforting, actually. So again, we are better together. We're all in this together, and we're going to all be able to support each other for this. So it was really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, teaching is the loneliest profession I've often thought. It's just such an isolating thing. And even when you're not an active teacher in a classroom, you're an educator working in some other capacity in the school system, it's still very lonely. And a lot of that is just the design. It is lonely by design. We're stuck in classrooms. We're put in classrooms. We're with kids all day long. We're with people all day long. But we're still sort of isolated from our colleagues and isolated from our coworkers and that sort of stuff. And that was why Sibme was so valuable to me. It was a way for me to connect and collaborate with my colleagues that I never could have done logistically if we were relying on being in the same space. And this is even cooler because getting to talk to people all over the world, and now getting to talk to people at different times really increases our ability to continue to interact and learn from one another, because there are amazing answers to all these questions. That I took away from all of this was these presenters. You referenced the number of breakout sessions, and we were nervous about having enough people submit to propose when we started doing this. We had an overwhelming number of people who wanted to contribute their voices to this. And even in our ed camps, the number of people, I had great conversations with attendees who were coming and had things to contribute. There are so many great ideas, and teachers are always thinking of great ideas on how to adapt to any challenge, not just this current challenge or a current set of challenges. And I think of Doug's quote again. There's a lot of conversation about equity right now. There's a lot of conversation about how do we systematize liberation is a word I like better than equity to use Paulo Freire's language about it. But how do we systematize liberation? And I will believe till my dying day, teacher is the answer. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else that fixes it like that.
Yeah,
you have to make those teachers. Doug said in his session, you can't fire your way to success. You have to take the teachers that you have. I used to say when I was working in new teacher induction in Houston, there is no great teacher farm out there. We can just go to and pick teachers off of a great teacher tree. You have to make your great teachers. The teachers that are excellent in every school didn't start that way. Every teacher started as a struggling teacher, and you have to create them. They have to create themselves, and I think that's what we saw over the last couple of days, and that solves the world's problems. I think
it really does. Yeah. To pull a similar quote, and again, this conference we had several teachers attend, but we were really looking at how do we transform the professional development of our fellow educators, of ourselves, and those that we are supporting if we're in a leadership role, or that we're collaborating with as a peer, so that we can all be there and be better. Something that I started my day out in Letty Roman's session 111, and because I just love listening to Letty. She's a customer of ours, and I'd like to call her a friend. And she said, "You are the guardian and defender of instructional excellence." We heard so many amazing quotes about, like you said, TJ. We don't fire our way to excellence. Great leaders don't just create followers; they create other leaders. We saw so many great examples. If you are aspiring to be a leader or wondering how your role as a classroom teacher can double as a leader, there are so many sessions here around leadership from all levels. And it's really amazing. And we had lots of coaches who said, there's not a whole lot out there for me right now as a coach or as a leader, right? I'm supposed to be pouring into other people's cups, but nobody's pouring into mine. And this was an amazing opportunity to have not only this collaborative experience, but it's free and it's on demand, and take it as you go. And I want to take a moment just to shout out Katie's tweet over here on the left of my screen. Doug Fisher was so engaging that her preschooler sat down and took notes. And so, we're getting them young in here in this conference. It's awesome. So no penguins, but we did have children attending these sessions. So it really, really is amazing. If you are watching us now or after the fact and you want to tell everyone what to go watch and what they needed to not miss out on going back on demand, help them out, because we definitely would love that. I'm trying to think about, okay, where am I going to start? I'm going to try to take at least one new session a day. That's my way of kind of doing this. So definitely. Hey, Kathy. So Kathy said she took the 101 classes. They're training sessions specifically for coaching. Kathy, let me show you the ways while we're here. Head on over, Kathy, to learn.sydney.com. So this is where you took the 101 session, the course that's available within our Sibme platform. And that's really for people who are new to Sibme as a user, and they want to know, how do I utilize this thing called a workspace and huddles and library? But we have also created several free courses around different professional learning models. So self-reflection, Tanya Cory did a great one on that yesterday. Lesson study and video. Here's one for coaching. How do you use video? Because video is our transformational tool here at Sibme. We believe in collaboration. We believe reflection is a powerful, powerful tool. And then when you combine that with collaboration of others, Doug said it yesterday too, you have to be brave. You have to be willing to let other people see you and to see others teach. That's how we grow. So video is how we do that here at Sibme. That's one of the cornerstones of our platform. So this is a great course on instructional coaching in video, new teacher induction in video, PLCs in video. We've got some of Doug's webinar with us on PLC Plus in that one. Blended professional learning in video is our latest one. And later this month, because it's July now, we'll be releasing Calibrating Your Leadership Team with video. So go to learn.sydney.com. These are all completely free. They're all video-based modules with dozens of activities on each course on utilizing video. So definitely go check that out. Yay, Kathy. So more learning if you didn't have enough in the Better Together conference, for sure. Brian, you have been, so I know you've shouted out to TJ and I, but we joke with you, Brian, because you are an idea man and you like to shove everybody into this amazing idea room that's usually kind of dark because it's uncertain. We've never done it before. And then you just keep the energy going by, running and going. We joked all the time, Jenga, hey Jenga, he would say, because he loved that. So,
one of my strategies to lead were in departments where I don't really have real authority is to just kind of peer pressure folks, and so I'm throwing it around the company all the time, and inside the market and among my friends. And whatever. And, just to make sure that this conference happened, I started inviting people into the conference in certain social media channels. And then poof, we had like 500 people. And it was like, okay, the game's on. And I think that really ignited this team. And by the way, this team runs through a wall every day for this community. And man, they put their shoulder pads on. They work together. They're constantly searching for strategies to be successul. Mm-hmm. They're a solution driven and minded group of people. We're not happy until we cross that finish line or we've solved the problem. I really like the builders on this team. Mm-hmm. So I'm so proud of these guys, and I'm really proud of how well they work together, and that's why I think this was a perfect team to host the Better Together conference, because they know how to work together. They know how to build. They know how to manage a Jenga set. I mean, I hope that's something we get to do as a team if we had a summer picnic, we would have to have a Jenga tournament. Sure.
And
You know,
this isn't everyone. I mean,
yeah, it's not.
this is just a, you know, I mean, just this is a good collection of our team, but there are a lot of people not pictured here who deserve a tremendous amount of gratitude. You know, Kathy said something about how she loves the platform and how it looks. There's a team of amazing software developers who work tirelessly. There are only 2 of them on this screen. There are many, many more, 3 of them. And lots of people doing a lot of work to improve Sibme every day and to continue to move forward and make improvements. You know, we have our new goal setting module coming out in a couple of weeks, and lots of wonderful stuff that just Sibme is always growing and always improving. We take that educator's mindset to our work here at the company as well, like always trying to push the envelope, always trying to move forward. And
we use Sibme ourselves for our own internal growth, whether we're a part of, you know, the sales or product development team or training or customer success. We are recording ourselves as we engage with others, and we are also, you know, collaborating and sharing that and being brave, as Doug said. Never fun watching ourselves, but yeah, there is we are a small team, but a mighty team. That's definite. And yeah, we've all been kind of chatting back and forth. To take Allison Burnett, our director of virtual learning's word, she sent me this the other day. You know, when the zombie apocalypse comes, this team is definitely on the short list for who we'll write out with, because we're definitely resourceful. So. But again, you know, the challenge for anyone who logged into the Sibme Better Together conference site when we first opened it, the first time you log in, you get this welcome video from me, and it was TJ's words, but you know, we said this conference is only going to be as good as those who are involved in attending it. Your engagement really matters. And so shout out to our amazing team, not all pictured here, but who made that happen in the background. We've got an international team, so we've got people who stayed up at late hours of the night so they can make this live event happen here in the US. And then all of our attendees who engaged and will continue to engage. We're really, really proud of everyone. So thank you. TJ and Brian, any last words before we kind of wrap up? Again, reminding everybody here or going to the hashtag Better Together Summit. If you continue to tweet about things, please include @SibmeApp so we can make sure that we can share your tweet out and get to see what you have to say. But any last words, TJ and Brian, for the What's Up Wednesday show?
You know, it's if everybody that attended this conference, you know, if this conference inspired you, and you're going to cross paths this summer with a colleague that, you know, you went to college with, and or you know, you went through your teacher preparation program, or somebody else in your district or in your region that you thought that this conference was really special, and you learned something and you thought there was value. If you had 3 friends like that and you wanted to share this conference, you can do that for free. Mm-hmm. So this is something to build, you know, community and share what you've learned to help with this movement, and help this community, you know, face the way we're going to reopen, and the way we're going to learn at work, you know, and work, you know, with the future in mind. So, you know, feel free to share this conference with all your friends, but maybe you have at least 3 that you could do that with. Yeah. That's my challenge to you.
And please, you know, stay in touch with us. Please be sure to like, follow, subscribe, all of those sorts of things on our social media channels. We try to be very active and continue to share learning. You know, Sibme is a private space. Sibme is designed to be private and secure. It's one of the things that makes it so valuable. But, you know, we do have these public channels that we're out trying to share learning in as well. So be sure to follow us, continue to get great information. Cory hosts a wonderful show on Fridays with the Coach Replay Show. We're on a little summer rewind right now where you can catch up the first season of the show, and then we'll have fresh content coming up in the fall. Lots of great conversations with lots of our wonderful virtual coaches who provide services to teachers all over the country, and just lots of stuff. Kathy referenced a great session from Stella Chiswick. It really is unbelievable to see the ways in which people apply the Sibme software to accomplish all kinds of goals. I remember I remember being in a classroom, early on in my career and needing to figure out how to solve a problem and how, I just had to MacGyver it, right? Teachers never have enough resources. They never have the things that they need. And they just look around and see what's laying around and like, oh, look, a toilet paper roll and a couple of paper clips. I'll put this together and use it for a teaching metaphor. And that's what great teachers do, right? And that's what people are doing with Sibme. Sibme's the toilet paper roll in this situation. It is a
easier to find than toilet paper on the shelves lately, but
but yeah, it's something that you grab hold of and you start to find ways to use it in ways that are meaningful. And the only way that we really explore all of those possibilities is together. And that's what we saw over the last couple of days, and I hope we'll continue to see going into the future. So yes, invite others to join us in this community, please.
Yeah. Kathy, you're asking about for sharing with others. Just send them on over to the page you've been going to find the schedule that has registration. Again, we'll get them in a couple of days to be able to view everything, and then just guide them to some of your favorite sessions. So and do join our, check out our Coach Replay Show, airs every Friday. Currently, it's every Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, I think, or maybe it's 1 p.m. Central Standard. I'm in Eastern Standard, so I don't remember what time zone's what, but check us out. If you follow us on social media, you'll get notifications. Just make sure you like us on social media. You'll get notifications when we go live. We'll be back in August with those. The Coach Replay Show this past year, season 1, all featured our own virtual coaches here at Sibme. We've got some amazing lineups coming in. I think Steve Barkley is going to be joining me on the show. I'm hoping to get some other big names in there, in addition to our amazing virtual coaches who, by the way, completely shined in their conference sessions. We had quite a few who did sessions yesterday and the day before. So thank you to them. But check out the Summer of Rewinds. Lots of relevant topics. Kalina Pollard, who presented on mental models and implicit biases. She had some Coach Replay shows with us on cultural responsiveness and implicit bias, coaching through those barriers. So check those out. So we are just so thankful. We are still just completely in awe and elated about the success of this. Do let us know how we can make it better next year. I did see Tom, one of our most social attendees and presenters yesterday. He did say the only thing I was missing was that coffee station, and I do say I missed my my tea selection in my afternoon, like Panera. So I'm going to have to, next conference, virtual conference, I'm going to have to just, get on some Grubhub or something and get those things delivered to me throughout the day, since I won't be able to walk into a foyer and get those. But that was the only thing missing from my experience. Otherwise, I didn't have to run to my next conference session or figure out where to go in this new building to find it. It was all super easy. So well, we're going to wrap up with an amazing thank you video just to all of our attendees and our presenters that our awesome social media team created for us yesterday. You may have seen this posted, but we will play it again for you all in case you didn't. And thank you so much for what you did and continue to do to be members of this Better Together Summit conference. Bye, everyone.